Hello, and welcome to the Power of Your Mind podcast, where we dive deep into the world of manifestation, the law of attraction, and the unlimited potential of your mind. You're listening to episode 269, Cultivating Optimism for Manifestation Success, the key to an unstoppable mindset. I'm Jim Kellner, your co-host and comedy hypnotist. And alongside with me, we have the amazing, terrific, fantastic, and splendid Victoria Gallagher, our host of the show, renowned expert in the field of law of attraction, but you probably already knew that. Quick reminder to subscribe to the podcast on your favorite platform so you never miss an episode. Victoria Gallagher is a best-selling author of The Power of the Practical Law of Attraction. She's the founder of Hip Cloud Apps, hiptalk.com, and be sure to check out her new Believe Hypnosis app, launching soon, or by now it's probably already available, depending on when you're listening. It's going to feature over 1,000 audios and include many new features and provide life-changing audios for people from all walks of life about law of attraction, manifestation, business success, and so much more. The goal of our show is to inspire you to dream big, live your best life. Each week, we discuss how to use manifesting, law of attraction, affirmations, meditation, and hypnosis to create the life of your dreams. Please, warm welcome, Victoria Gallagher, everyone.
Woohoo! Thank you for that warm, wonderful introduction. It's always a pleasure to be here. Splendid.
Splendid. I've been trying to use that word more. It's such a great word.
I said that on a previous podcast episode. Splendid.
That's a little Easter egg for those of you that are listening. That's your Easter egg.
Yeah, we should make that. You know what's going to be cool is when this app really does launch, I'll be able to give people promo codes that they can type into my website and be able to get some, discounts on my new app. So I'm really splendidly excited about that. Very optimistic about that.
Splendidly optimistic. I love it.
Splendidly, yes.
How's your week been?
Oh, my week is going splendid. I'm very optimistic. Actually, you know what's going on now, as everybody, has known about the little drama. One of the things that was holding me back was just this whole idea about like, well, what if things aren't going well in the code that I don't even know about. And so I hired a consultant actually. And that was one of the things that I was a little afraid to do because ultimately, well, it just came down to I got to spend more money on these people. I got to invite another, person into the mix to trust. And, and then, now, so they're ultimately working together. They're together. I'm not even in part of the conversation with that.
That's great.
They're like kind of being the project manager for me and just keeping me abreast of what's going on. So yeah, in a way I kind of like hired a project manager to just oversee this whole project. And it has really just been such a relief. And it's like, why didn't I do that 6 months ago?
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
it makes a lot of sense. That buffer in between.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just kind of freeing me up to just like, I can just focus on other things. I don't have to bog my mind down with that. And, and it's really pumped up my optimism on, getting this done and getting it done right and making sure that all the I's are dotted, all the T's are crossed, but I'm not the one that has to worry about that. So that's exciting.
On my end, I have found, so I've added a virtual assistant. So, similar, getting someone else to help work. And I wish I would have done this sooner. I've hired a few, but they didn't work out. And I would give up then for like a year.
Mm-hmm.
But I wish I just would have kept trying to get somebody that actually does the work.
Yeah.
Because it's so nice to be able to just go, these, this is the thing that I don't want to do because somebody else could do it. And now I
Mm-hmm.
can work on the things that only I can do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. At some
You like
point, you kind of, it's really the only way. I mean, it's the only way
yeah,
you're going to really grow. Because if you're bogged down with all the details yourself, then you have to, you have to stifle your creativity to
oh
work on
yeah,
the busy work and all the things you don't want to do. And yeah, and it's like, to me, the way I did it, I just did it kind of in stages. I just took the thing that was the biggest time consumption, it took the most amount of energy, or was
yeah,
like the thing that I really, really either suck at or just really don't want to do,
yeah,
and just hand that off. And then that frees up 20% more time of your day. So then
yep.
when you're freed up to do that, then you're that much more productive. Then you can say, okay, well, what else can I let go of? And before you know it, you've got 5 or 10 people all doing, different things, and they don't all work full time. Most of the people that I work, if I took all the people that I have helping me, it probably adds up to 1.5 to 2 people that I would, but not everybody specializes in all the things. That was one of the things that I had to learn along the way, was that,
Yeah.
um, you know, uh, there's not going to ever be that one perfect person that knows how to do all the things that you need them to do. So you're
Except yourself.
except for yourself. Exactly.
Isn't that the thing that sucks? It's like I'm the
Yeah.
only one that knows how to do everything that I do. Oh,
Yes. Oh my God. It's so, so true. It's so
oh.
true. I still answer one of the things that my clients really appreciate. I don't get, too weighed down with it, but one of the things my clients really appreciate, I still answer my own emails. And occasionally I have to plug in to AI to answer the ones that only the ones, honestly, this is just the ones that say, for example, if I get a mean review or comment or something like that, because there's still meanies out there. And so you still have to conduct yourself professionally, especially when you have an app and people give you 1-star reviews for stupid reasons. I'm
Yeah.
just going to say it right now. The
I
1-star
didn't cook my
reviews.
lunch.
Yeah, no, because it's not free. There's not enough
Right.
free content, or because of certain things that we don't have in the app yet that we are actually working on in the Believe app. Little things like that you get punished for.
Yeah.
And so rather than coming back with what I really want to say, that's where I'll use AI. It's like, please, handle this for me. And they come back in the most eloquent, heartfelt, compassionate review. And it's like, oh, and it's like, but the 5-star ones, I definitely handle myself. Just so you know
Very good.
that, if you're one of those
Very
1-star
good.
review people, then,
Right.
you're not getting a real response from me.
That's right. You don't want the
Because
real response
you
from
don't
Victoria.
you don't want the real one.
So, Victoria, we're talking about cultivating optimism for manifestation success, the key to an unstoppable mindset. I love that. How do you think optimism plays a part in using the law of attraction to manifest more in our lives?
Well, this is kind of where a lot of people understand, that it's all about positive thinking, right? And
Yeah.
but it goes beyond positive thinking. It goes well beyond that. But at the very, very base of law of attraction and manifesting things, we've got to believe, we've got to be confident. We've got to have faith. We've got to know that the thing that we want, that we deserve it, that it's going to happen. And ultimately, it's this optimistic attitude, always kind of seeing the brighter side. This attitude, it is an attitude ultimately that you develop, that you hone. That attitude, obviously, it attracts way more because, and it keeps your mind in a much higher mindset, a higher vibrational mindset. When you're just conversely a pessimist and you're always looking at, all the things, what could go wrong, obviously you're going to attract and you're going to be focused on, and you're not going to be taking action on, and you're going to be in a lower vibe. And so it just, if you choose to put yourself into a state of optimism, and you choose to be one of those people that sees the best in every situation, it's just going to actually, if you are choosing to see the best, then it's going to open you up to realize the best. When you see the best, you realize the best. You become more open to opportunities. You become more resilient when things are not, when they don't look, I've had to have a lot of optimism when it comes to this app. There have been moments where I look at it very pessimistically, but I always bounce back. I always come back to my innate nature, which is I'm a natural born optimistic person. And so you have to have this optimism if you're going to manifest anything, because, here's the thing. It's not just like this straight trajectory, up, 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 up. It's a roller coaster. And whenever you're facing challenges, you've got to step into this attitude of optimism in order to allow you to look at the reality of the situation and be able to make yourself feel better. And when you feel better, better things happen.
Well, Victoria, what if I get my hopes up and then things don't work out, and then I'm doubly disappointed because I was optimistic?
It's a really interesting question, because I think that's one of the things that prevents people from being optimistic, is they are afraid of that whole idea of getting their hopes up and having it not work out for them. But isn't it better to feel good in the moment and to have hope than if, here's the thing may not work out, whether you feel good about it or you feel bad about it, whether you're thinking positive about
Right.
it or you're thinking negative about it. The thing, either way, may not work out. But what if you just felt good and you thought good along the way to it not working out? At least you have spent more time
feeling good, right?
Feeling good, and you
Right.
have a better chance that if it wasn't going to work out, then maybe your optimism could turn that whole situation around and have it work out. You have a much, much better chance that the thing will work out that you're afraid won't work out if you believe and have this idea that it will work out. You only have like a temporary moment of
Right, exactly.
of it not
Good
working
point.
out versus, a longer sustained period of time of yeah. At least, and if it's not working out for you, it just wasn't meant to be. And you have learned how to create the habit and the attitude of being optimistic for the next thing that you can put your energy and focus on.
You know what? You just made me think of a quote that I just saw on social media. It was by apparently it's by the founder of Dropbox. The thing that everybody uses, Dropbox, that platform.
I use it. Yeah.
He said it was something along the lines of, "You can fail lots of times. You only need to succeed once."
Oh,
And I
isn't
was
that
like,
true?
"Dude, that's so good." If you create something like Dropbox, boom, who cares how many times you failed, right? You create Uber, you create, whatever. It doesn't Yeah. So I think that's, and I love what you said. At least you get to feel good most of the time. It's just that ending part you don't feel good. So whatever. That's good.
Exactly. And and you could even be optimistic about that ending point that it didn't work out, because you could also, if you are truly practicing optimism, you would actually not see that thing as not working out, because you would realize that the universe has always got your back, and there was a reason that didn't work out, because there's something even better around the corner that is meant for you. It's that one failure along the way to
Success.
the major success.
The
And
one
you could
success
say,
you need, right?
"Oh, no? Okay. Well,
Great.
good
Get it out of
thing
the
that
way.
didn't happen, because there's something even better
That's
happening
right.
for me.
Next,
I
next,
am
next.
stoked."
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of like dating, right? Next, next,
Yeah.
next.
Oh my goodness.
Succeed
That is
once. That's
definitely an
good.
area where you have to keep some optimism open. I do remember. Thank goodness I'm done with all that.
So, Victoria, you said that you are naturally optimistic. I am too. But there are some people out there that just seem to pop out of the womb pessimistic. Everything's going to go wrong. Everything's going to be bad. Um, they always see the cloud in the silver lining, right there. So what could you share some tips or strategies, something that those folks out there that are not optimistic by nature, how they could develop some more optimism, maybe?
Absolutely. Well, I think just by virtue of the fact that this person is listening to this show right now that isn't optimistic, that is a sign that you have it in you, because you're
Yeah.
listening to a podcast, The Power of Your Mind. You want the optimism. Maybe you have a habit, maybe you've kind of developed the habit, and it's easy to do because the neurology in our brains are wired, such that the thing that we do over and over again, including how we think, it's contagious. It just, if we are in the habit of like looking at what's wrong or what could go wrong, then that just actually creates a self-fulfilling prophecy. So if you want to change that around, you're gonna have to start to rewire your neurology. You're gonna actually have to start to catch yourself whenever you are thinking anything negative. This is the work. This is the right here. This is the thing that ultimately, this right here is going to change your life, is when you realize, and it requires a level of self-awareness. And so, just taking a step back before optimism is, you have to realize when you're thinking in a way that isn't serving you. And I love using this technique called "What am I manifesting right now?" where you realize like, "Oh, I'm thinking this isn't going to work. Oh, this is horrible. Oh, blah blah blah," or whatever the negative thought is. I'm thinking about the worst. Like I had to catch myself many times about, how bad these developers are, and that kind of thing.
Right.
And it's like,
Yeah.
what am I manifesting right now? I'm manifesting bad. So you ask yourself, you sort of like do a little pattern interrupt, if you will, and you say, what am I manifesting right now? And then you have a go-to visualization. You have a go-to, like you have to prepare for the fact that you are going to sometimes think negative. It's
Mm.
gonna happen. And so what are you going to change that into? What is the new focus? What is the new thought that you're going to change that into? And so every time you find yourself traveling down that old habit, that old thought that is only going to manifest negative stuff, you ask yourself, what am I manifesting and what do I want instead? And then you change it to focusing on what you want instead? And you got to challenge those negative thoughts. It's like, is this really what I want? Is this really the way that I want it to go? Because you dictate. You dictate what you're going to manifest. You dictate whether you're going to think like an optimistic person or you're going to think like a pessimistic person. But it's like, it's not automatic right away. You want to change your neurology so that it becomes more automatic. And, just another thing that you can do is you can also just get into every day, training yourself to think about the things that have already shown up for you, the things that are already working out, the gratitude, and focusing on what's already going well about this. And you're probably going to find there's so many more things that are going right than are going wrong. And, that is something that you can begin to, dwell on. You can dwell on the positive things rather than dwelling on the few negative things. Because, we can take those negative things and we can make them seem like, oh, this happens all the time. Well, no, it's just that you feel it more, you sense it more when like something is actually going wrong compared with all of the crazy, numerous amounts of things that are actually going right.
It seems like this might be, and we've talked about this before, but this might be a good time, like if for those folks to use some gratitude journaling.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely gratitude journaling is probably it's probably one of the best habits that you can get into. And I get in and out of this habit myself. Sometimes I'm in it, sometimes I'm not. But when you just be grateful for the things that you do have, your body running all the time. It's like if you have the capacity to think a negative thought, guess what? You're alive. Your brain is your brain is working. Your breathing is working. Your body is working. The sun came out. I mean, there's so many things that you have actually that are working right. I mean, just the mind-blowing miraculous way that this universe just continues to operate in perfect harmony with our with life. And it's like it's pretty astounding, everything that has to go right in order for just the sun to come up the next day.
True. A lot of things have to fall into place, huh?
Exactly.
I was thinking, back, there was this one time when I was like going through a really depressive episode. And I remember coming across a photograph, it's in a magazine or some social media or something. And it was a photograph of these children, like 6, 7, 8, 5, on this heap, this big giant mound of trash, like at a dump
Oh
in
wow.
some third world country. And they had a soccer ball and they were playing soccer and they were all smiling. And I was like, wow. I mean, if these kids, I mean, they're just grateful. They've got a soccer ball, right? They get to play. I was like, man, I could probably summon up a little bit of gratitude for my crappy life.
Oh, it's so true. There's so many people out there that like live so, you know, uh humbly compared
Yeah.
to the way that we live. And it's not bad or good or right or wrong that they live that way and we might live this way. But when we're not grateful for all the things that we have, that's where you have to take a look. And honestly, it kind of stems from a little bit of maybe ignorance sometimes. We don't realize how good we have it until we see how humbly other people live and how
They are.
happy and grateful they
Yeah.
are to have the the simple joys and the simple pleasures that they have. And so if we can just, you know, I think that you should have whatever dreams you can possibly imagine for yourself. I think you should, be as happy as you can possibly be, and be as wealthy and abundant and healthy and all of the things as you can possibly be. And on the way to that place, it's so important to be happy and to recognize the the amazing life that, most of us, I mean, just the fact that you have the ability to listen to this podcast is saying something. You've got the technology, you've got ears, you're alive, your
Yeah.
heart is beating, your brain is working. There's so many things that have to go right for you to just be in this moment right now.
Yeah. Victoria, is there anything else? Something, anything else that you need to convey to the people? Maybe a key takeaway, anything like that? They're going to help them to use this optimism to really achieve their goals they're manifesting.
Well, I think one of the key ways to develop this state of optimism is, really start your day off that way. Because how you start your day really sets the tone and the pace for everything. So you really just you want to set your intention every day to find things to be optimistic about. And so I would recommend even just starting with an intention setting, a few statements that you can make in your journal, or even, while you're in a state of meditation, and just write down, maybe write down 3 things that you're grateful for already, and then write down maybe 3 things that you're grateful for that haven't come to pass yet. Something that maybe that you're looking forward to getting to do that day. And and just see the day going easy and smooth and well, and see yourself just having a day that's like filled with joy, happiness, possibilities, all the opportunities, having a smile on your face, feeling the energy, feeling yourself in a high vibration. And just, I mean, it'll only take 5 minutes really for you to tap into that power of optimism, and just set yourself up to to see the good and to see the positive throughout the entire day. And really, like, every single thing that you do, or that you experience, or everybody that you meet, just being present. And that just being present is just another way to practice that optimism, is just um being if when you're here right now and you're present, nothing's wrong. Anytime that you're thinking something like pessimistic, where is that really coming from? It's coming from a place of lack of, it's coming from a place of fear. It's coming from a place of resentment, or, it's just coming from, something that doesn't exist right now. The only thing that exists right now is presence and peace. And ultimately, it's that presence and that peace that brings about the most optimistic place that you can be in, which is joy and pure happiness.
Wonderful. And you know what? This has nothing to do, sort of, maybe has something to do with with our conversation. I am optimistic that I'm going to start playing this. The
Ooh.
didgeridoo. I
Ooh.
just got it.
You just got it?
I just got it. I'm super excited about it. It's I read that it's supposed to be good for sleep apnea, strengthens your throat. So I thought I'd give it a try. Better than a sleep apnea
I didn't
machine.
even know you were dealing with sleep apnea.
Oh yeah, I got the sleep apnea thing going on. Yeah, I gained some weight with COVID and then it came back. I had it a long time ago, lost weight, it came back. But I'm super excited. I love the sound of it too. So listeners, if you play didgeridoo, you want to send me some tips. Send me some tips on how I can get better at my didgeridoo. I haven't even opened it yet. I'm excited.
I remember so many years ago, and it still cracks me up the name. Like so many years ago when I first heard of a didgeridoo. I
Yeah,
mean, not knowing what it was. I mean, you don't come out of the womb knowing what a didgeridoo.
right.
I'm like, what the heck is that? And it's like, is that the real name of it? Yep. It still cracks me up. It still brings me back to that. It's like, I mean, just playing it's got to bring about a state of optimism, though. Um, I mean, there's some kind of spiritual connection with playing the didgeridoo, isn't
Yeah, there
there?
is. There's supposed to be, yeah, the traditionally. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I'll
So
find out more. If you know out there, let us know. Send us
definitely,
links, send us videos. If you're a didgeridoo player,
definitely,
and if you're really good, maybe I'll do a concert for you all one day.
definitely. That
Thanks,
would be
Victoria. It's been
great.
great.
Yes, thank you so much, Jim, and thank you, audience, for being here and listening again to another wonderful episode of the Power of Your Mind podcast. And I hope you found today's episode bringing you a new level of optimism in your life. I hope you found it informative. I hope you found it inspiring. And if you did, and I'm sure you did, then please share this. I'm optimistic that
So,
you
me
are
too.
going
Yes.
to share this podcast with your friends, with your family. And don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review and tune in next week for another inspiring episode. Until then, keep using the power of your mind to reach your goals, live your best life with optimism, abundance, and joy. Bye now.